Today I'm giving you the top primaries right now for Season 3 on Ashika Island, starting off here with the M4. Now, with the nerf of the Iso Hemlock, we've really seen the long-range meta conversation open up a little bit. So we've got a lot of different options. I've got 9 guns for you today. They are all timestamped down below. This way you can easily fast forward, rewind, and jump around. Now, with the M4, real quick, by the way, I'm leaving the tuning on screen here for you. Screenshot it, set it up in game, write it down, whatever you need to do. I'm going to leave that on screen. I'll show you a clip or two just so that you can kind of see it in action, but for the most part, going to be leaving that on screen. Biggest thing to note with the M4 is going to be the mag size. The M4 has a very fast fire rate, and some of you will be like, Joe, why not run the 60 round mag? The 60 round mag really slows down your ADS time. So I'm running the 45 round mag, just being a little bit strategic about when I'm reloading. Feel free to try the 60 for yourself, see if you like it, but in my opinion, it slows down your ADS time way too much. Now, next up, of course, biggest change in Season 3 is going to be one-shot snipers. So we got to talk about the 2 one-shot snipers that are actually viable. The first is going to be the MCPR. Now, with the MCPR, kind of 3 things that I want to talk about. First is going to be the ammunition. The explosive ammunition is what actually gives you the ability to one-shot. If you do not have the explosive ammunition on, you will not be able to one-shot somebody that's full plate. So we got to run the explosive ammunition. The downside is going to be the bullet velocity. This really hurts your bullet velocity, which does make sniping a little bit tougher. You know, you got to start to learn that lead time, start to understand that bullet velocity in order to be successful with it. The other thing is there's a ton of flinch with snipers. So basically you have to down somebody without them shooting back. So you're going to have to be strategic about your positioning and your cover. In terms of the optic here, I like the Forge Tac Delta 4. It is a 5.5x scope. You can of course play around with different sniper scopes. You can try out the standard optic, you know, throw on something in the rear grip to give you a little bit faster ADS, but I really like this scope right here. We are running the 5-round magazine. Biggest reason here is that really speeds up your aim down sight time, gives you a much faster ADS time. It feels a little bit smoother, less clunky. So I'm running the 5-round mag, just being strategic about when I reload and the shots that I am taking. So now let's go ahead, jump into the new FJX Imperium here, aka the Intervention. Notice right here, we once again are running the explosive ammunition. We once again are running the Forge Tac Delta 4. We are not running the magazine here. Reason being is it is a standard 5-round magazine. So we basically have the same amount of rounds as we do with the MCPR, but we don't need a magazine to do it. So we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to throw on like a VLK laser. I don't know. We're basically not running a barrel either here. This is not a quick scoping build. This is just what I feel is a really good build in terms of bullet velocity, in terms of range and stuff like that. So I really like this build right here. Feels really good on Ashika. Next up here, we are going to go to the Iso Hemlock. Yes, it was nerfed. No, it was not nerfed enough to take it out of the meta. And I'm going to be honest with you, it wasn't even nerfed enough to take it out of the top spot. If I was in a kill race tomorrow for $10,000 where I had to get the most amount of kills possible, I would still be using the Iso Hemlock. And I would actually probably pair that with the Kastov 74U, which is my favorite secondary, but I'll be telling you more about that tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got a video on the top secondaries for Season 3 on Ashika Island. Make sure you keep an eye out for that video. But the ISO here, still the top option. We obviously got one-shot snipers in the mix, so all we've really seen is that meta gap close a little bit. The ISO was like hands down, by far and away, the #1 option in Season 2 and Season 2 Reloaded. We see that close a little bit more in Season 3. Now, next up here, we got the Cronen Squall, the new battle rifle. Absolutely a great option. It's fully automatic. One thing before I show you the tuning, you kind of got 3 different options here with your muzzles. You got the SA Leveler, the Bore 490, and the Stock and Tread. Try out all 3 of those and see which one you like best. I like the Bore 490. This does have a decent amount of recoil, which you're going to see in the gameplay, by the way. My whole goal is to help you improve as a player, so I'm going to be coaching you through that high kill game that I have where I'm using the Cronen Squall. We'll talk about gameplay strategy, how I go about dropping high kills, but also really paying attention to the positives and negatives of the Cronen Squall, specifically kind of the recoil at range. It's a little bit tougher to use, but if you can figure out how to hit your shots with it, this thing absolutely hits very hard. The other thing that I do want to highlight here, kind of 2 things. You do need high velocity on it. The bullet velocity on this gun is not very good, so we have to be running high velocity as opposed to something that will help with that recoil a little bit more, like a rear grip or a stock, or even an underbarrel. So we do have to run that high velocity. The other thing is the optic. One thing that I noticed, the AIMOP V4 has a lot of visual recoil. I actually switched to the Cronen Mini Pro. It feels a lot easier to hit shots. Feels like there there's a little bit less visual recoil, so I'm opting to use that as opposed to the AIM-OP V4. Now, next up here, we are going to keep moving to the STB. You know, in Season 2, I threw this on my meta list as kind of a stretch, but now it was buffed with Season 3. It is absolutely in the meta conversation for solos and duos. Still not feeling like it's there with trios and quads because of this mag size. In quads, you're gonna have to constantly reload this gun. In solos and duos, it's a really great option. Trios, you gotta be a little bit strategic about when you're reloading. Quads, guys, this is gonna be really tough to use. Biggest thing with the STB, it does hit pretty hard, especially in that mid-range. It's very easy to use. This is a very low recoil gun, very easy to hit your shots, but again, gotta keep in mind that reloading if you're gonna try to use this in quads. In fact, if in quads, I would recommend you use the Iso Hemlock. Solos and duos, you can absolutely get away with it here. Next up here, we go to the Kastov 7.62. This is a little bit of a fringe one. This thing just hits way too hard not to put it on the meta. It's not going to be your Iso Hemlock or something where you're beaming people at like 90 and 100 meters. This is your mid-range and your mid to long range where this thing just hits really hard if you hit headshots. Same thing here with the Cronen Mini Pro with the visual recoil. Like I said, I just find that it's much easier to see people. You get a little bit less visual recoil. Overall, guys, this gun does have recoil, but if you can figure out how to control it, it's going to hit really hard for you. Next up, we are continuing to talk about the LMG meta here. You know, slightly nerfed. We were putting the Icarus here. I did take the socket off, guys. The socket just really isn't hitting for me compared to the Icarus and the RAAL, which we're going to talk about here. Biggest thing with the Icarus, very easy to use, especially in that mid-range. We are running high velocity to give us a little bit more damage range and bullet velocity. AIM-OP V4, there's not a ton of visual recoil, so very easy all the way around. This gun does have a little bit of recoil, but overall just very easy to control, and we do finish this off with the RAAL. Throwing the RAAL back in the mix just because of how hard this thing hits. I tried it out again, and you just absolutely fry people. The TTK on this gun is absolutely insane. So overall, again, not going to be the gun that you beam somebody at 90 and 100 meters, but put yourself in a good position. You're absolutely going to fry people. So let's go ahead and jump into this gameplay breakdown here with the brand new Cronen Squall. So we're going to go ahead and start this game off right here. I skipped some of the early game just because it wasn't anything too crazy. We just bought the Cronen Squall. So we have that along with the Floor Loot Kastov 74U, which I have a lot of confidence with, so I can go ahead and start pushing teams here. We've got 2 kills, 7 other teams alive. We've got first circle just starting to close. Now, 2 things that I want to highlight right here. First is the UAV tower. I always talk about momentum. We get information, we get a kill, at which point we can keep it going. UAV towers are a great way to do that. They cost $2,000, they last 20 seconds, and you can hit them an unlimited amount of times. Now, the second thing is going to be redeploy balloons. Guys, I really want to see people start using these more if you are dropping high kills or looking to drop high kills for this reason right here. Kind of 2 main reasons. Number 1, look at this aerial view. I can see if people are at hotels. I can see if people are at Suki. I can see if people are at bunker building, right? I can get a very large aerial view of everything going on and figure out where I want to push. Now, the second thing is from a positioning perspective. I want to go ahead and talk about this guy right here, right? So there's an enemy right down below me. I want to go challenge this guy. Now, if I am rotating on foot, I'm going to have to rotate and kind of play the low ground a little bit, right? So he's going to have high ground. I'm going to have to find a way to get a knock. With the redeploy balloon, I can kind of flip that script. So I can play on top of this rooftop, and all of a sudden I have the high ground. I can shoot down on him, allowing me to get that down in thirst. Now, when I go to do that, what wasn't part of the plan was me getting shot in the back from his teammate. So now we're in a little bit of a tough spot. In this moment right here, it dawns on me that there's no way I'm making it to cover, right? I have a smoke grenade that I might be able to use, but I'm in a pretty bad spot here. So here's your first look at the new Cronen Squall. This thing absolutely melts in this mid-range. So we're going to go ahead and get that down, anticipate enemy number 2. We get the thirst, so we get more information, and we can go ahead and disengage. Now, right here, guys, kind of 2 things that I want to highlight. The first is, a lot of times when you shoot somebody, they automatically retreat, right? So when I shoot this guy, look what he does. He just pushes away, right? He gets scared. That buys me time to make my next move, which I'm going to go ahead and use the smoke grenade to go ahead and grab the plates from the guy that I shot. Well, unfortunately, they weren't where I thought they were. So we're in a little bit of a tough situation here. And as we go to peek this, That guy was ready for me. So now we're in a really bad position. I've got no plates. I only have enough money for one plate with the, they cost $500 now. But watch how we anticipate this. This is where anticipation and execution, especially with how fast the TTK is, will allow you to get kills without taking damage, right? There's the Cronen Squall. Again, that mid-range, close range, it absolutely fries people. We're able to get that kill. Watch this happen in full speed. I'm expecting this guy to push this direction. We catch him off guard. He gets caught in the attack sprint, and watch how we play this. Look at this enemy right here. Very clearly pushing my direction. Now, I know that I need two things. I either need to grab plates and then re-engage, or I've got to find a way to get another clean kill. So watch what we do here. We're going to go ahead. Again, we get this kill, little jump to the right. We're going to act quickly based on the fact that I know that I need plates. I grabbed one plate. So now we've got to find a different angle. We've got to find a way to be unpredictable, get a clean kill. Sure enough, he's focused on my teammate. Kastov 74U absolutely fries. Guys, like I said, tomorrow I'm doing a video on my top secondaries for Season 3 of Ashika Island, so make sure you are subscribed down below and have the notification bell turned on for that. But right here, once again, we tag that guy. We know they're over there, just cannot quite get that down. So let's go ahead and slow down here for a second, right? We bought ourselves time. They're not going to push us, right? We're in a 2v2 situation at this point, or actually, we're in a little bit more of that because I've got my teammates close by. Let's just go ahead and regain that momentum, knowing I have information over this way. Now, we got $2,800. What do we think, right? Let's go ahead and just buy our secondary here. Let's get that advantage as well. Yes, I would love, if I could buy a Yui here, to be honest with you, knowing that how comfortable I am with that Kastov 74U floor loot, I'd probably buy a Yui, but I don't have enough for that, so let's go ahead and buy her Vel. Vel is a great option. Once again, going to be talking about that tomorrow. Now, what's your thought process? Besides the fact that my teammate just died over here, I know that this team is still over this direction. Based on the guy that I previously killed, they're over here somewhere. It's not like they ran that far away, and if they did, we just keep working our way up, right? We keep clearing this area. There's a guy flying in right there, and this is going to be a really dicey situation to get out of. Now, I saw this guy over to my right side. I don't know if you caught him. You're going to catch three people right here. You're going to catch one pushing away from loadout, one pushing to loadout, and one over to the right side. There's the guy on the right side, there's the guy pushing to loadout, and there's the guy pushing away from loadout. This puts me in a really dicey spot, but the one thing that I want you to take away from this situation, and I've been talking a lot about this with people, just because you see somebody doesn't mean that they see you. So right now, I have a ton of information. I know there are three people around here. I've just got to figure out which one to act on first. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to tag, actually, there's another one leaving loadout. We're going to go ahead and down that guy right there. Now, immediately, I'm worried about this guy to my left side here. I, at this point, know that he's aware that I engaged his teammate or he hears the shooting. So I got to be a little bit careful. This guy makes a really good play. I'm guessing he live pinged me, at which point he still had the advantage of knowing I was here. So we're just going to play our cover. We're going to plate up. I hear him pushing. I hear the footsteps. Either way, I'd probably assume that he's pushing here, and we're able to get the knock with the Vel. Vel's a really good option. Look at the mini-map, right? So we got one down below over this way, but I'm most concerned about this guy close because I am very low health. So we're going to go ahead and immediately start plating for the speed boost. We're going to go ahead and just play this angle. Now we get the wipe. So I don't know what just happened here, besides the fact that somebody killed this guy that was just chasing me. Except this guy that killed the one chasing me does not know that I'm here, right? So I'm just going to wait for him. And sure enough, here he's going to push. He's going to push right to me. There's the Cronen Squall again. The recoil pattern of the Cronen Squall, it's going to take some getting used to, is up, and then my camera's going to be flipped, but it's going to be kind of diagonal to the left. So you see the early shots are straight vertical. Once you get a little bit later in that recoil pattern, it can get a little bit tougher to hit shots, so you just want to keep that in mind, which we can talk a little bit about later on and how to take advantage of that. Now, as we get the thirst right here, this is just something you can work on. This immediate reach out right here, sure enough, gets caught in a attack sprint. I already, in my mind, knew I was going to reach out at. I just got to break that line of sight to be a little bit unpredictable. Get that down. Now we go ahead, buy ourselves some time. We're going to plate up here as we push up. I don't think that guy saw me. I don't think somehow this guy definitely did not see me because he goes for the res. So I caught a quick glimpse of him there. He has no idea that I'm here. Sure enough, that's a pretty easy wipe right there. And just like that, we're up to 10 kills. We're on really good pace. We're on really good 20 pace right here. 6, 6, 4, 4. If you aren't subscribed, 6 kills in the first circle, 6 kills in the second circle, 4 kills in the third circle, and then 4 kills in endgame. That is your 20 buy bomb right there. We need to get to 12 kills by the end of the second circle. Only 5 teams left, but I'll be honest with you guys, if you get a lobby that's not 100% full, I actually find that this game plays better. So don't necessarily back out of a lobby that has like 40 people in it. You never know what can happen. Now, right here, I catch one to the right side. Once again, you're going to see this Vel is just disgusting. Like, I really like this Vel. Absolutely fried. We've got one over to the left side and one up top here somewhere in Suki, but let's go ahead and grab loadout, right? Haven't grabbed loadout yet. I am going to be doing a video on perks here, but the one thing you need to know is that high alert is the best perk that you can be running in this game. Hands down, when it comes to the lack of outplay potential, knowing that somebody is looking at you with how fast of a TTK this game has is a massive advantage. Let's go ahead and work our way this way. Remember what the mini map showed that when we got the kill on the guy over here, one up above and one over this way. So I don't know where the guy is in Suki. I'm just going to go ahead and play this direction somewhere, try to see what I can find. We are playing positioning. Another tip that I have for you guys, if you are not acting on concrete information, if you are not acting on a mini-map ping, on something on a UAV or something like that, you need to be playing a little bit more positioning, being a little bit more strategic, trying to see what you can find. Let's go ahead and work our way over this way. One thing that I will kind of highlight is I heard a bunch of crates in bunker building, which means it's probably unlooted, which means there's probably not anybody there. Let's go ahead and see what we can find here. We got 11 kills, 5 other teams still alive, and we're just trying to figure out where they are, right? I get high alert in the back, so that tells me that there is a team directly behind me. Obviously, we have the bounty as well, but that gives me information. When I talk about positioning and using information to your advantage, high alert is something that we can use. High alert's great because it tells you somebody's looking at you, which allows you to finesse and be aware, but it also gives us information. Now, all of a sudden right here, and look, this is where it gets a little bit tougher, right? Those shots right there are a little bit tougher with that horizontal recoil. That's where we run that bore, I think it's called the bore 490, to try to limit that as much as possible. It limits it a lot, but still towards that later portion of the recoil pattern, it does go to the left a little bit, so we got to keep that in mind. Right here, just playing a little bit of positioning. I'm guessing these guys ended up pushing down below towards kind of the bunker area because they don't push out towards me in the open. Now, right here, I hear some fighting over to my left side, so I'm no longer going to engage bounty. I'm going to play my positioning. We're going to look over this way, see what we can find, and this is what I'm talking about with your recoil pattern. If you stop shooting for just a half second, a lot of times your recoil pattern resets. So what that means is if we shoot a little bit and take care of that straight vertical, when it starts to go horizontal, you can stop shooting for half a second and it'll go straight vertical again. Watch how I do that here, right? So we stop and all of a sudden it's straight vertical again. Kind of gives me that advantage. Obviously, you got to balance that with people using cover. Look at the one guy to my left side. Look at the one guy here. Got to balance that in order to get the down, but it's just something you can do. Now, what is your thought process on this guy right here? Look at where this guy's moving to. Watch which way he's moving to. Notice which way he's moving. My initial thought here is that he is going to take the zip, right? So if he takes the zip, I want to be ready for him. The moment I see that he hasn't taken the zip, then I can go ahead and start to clear down low because that's the only way to get to the rooftop besides the stairs. So he's either going to be on zip or he's going to be somewhere down below me in the stairwell or in the bottom room. So I'm like waiting. I'm waiting. We're going to go ahead and push over this way, try to see what we can find. I hear him. I'm just not 100% sure where he is just yet. 12 kills, so we're still on good pace. We're chasing 4 kills in this third circle. Just waiting for him because I hear him. Now we hear him right here. We're able to catch him off guard, get the down. Watch this next play right here, guys. Do not panic in these situations. Overpeak that just a little bit. I get sniped. Don't panic here. He's in a really tough position because he doesn't have a great way to get to me. So we're going to self. We're going to go ahead and smoke. This is actually probably one of the smartest plays that I've had. We're going to push out, and we're going to immediately take zip because I had heard him in the stairwell. So that's just one thing where, like, now all of a sudden I'm up here. That just buys me time because even if he's going to push me on this rooftop, he's got to get all the way up here. Now, what do I do as soon as I'm plated up, right? As soon as I am replated, we're right back in the fight. Go back to pushing, right? Pushing versus getting pushed. I'm trying to figure out where this guy is. I hear him in the stairwell. I'm just not 100% sure. So notice the centering. I'm trying to listen for him, and we're going to play this stairwell. This little nook right here, guys. The way you play this nook here is, and I shouldn't teach you this because then somebody's going to use it against me, and I'm going to be very upset. But right here, what happens is when he centers his crosshairs around the corner, which I always tell you to do, he's not going to see me. But I hear him pushing. So I'm trying to time basically when he peeks the corner to catch him off guard. So we're going to time it the first time. Boom, there it is. And right there, we just anticipate, right? Not hiding in this corner, but hiding in this corner allows me to do that, right? So I get that slight advantage there. He's broken. I've got a one-plate advantage. We're just able to hit shots with the Vel. Now, one flying in over this way, so we're immediately going to act on that. It's a little bit aggressive, but I also knew his loadout was over here. So this right here is where the recoil gets a little bit wonky, guys. This is where the Cronen Squall gets a little bit tougher to use. Watch what happens right here. So he's going to get out, and it's just a real struggle here to hit shots. Like, it's not as easy to use as the Iso Hemlock. If you're looking to drop higher kill games and you feel really comfortable with the Hemlock and you're okay continuing to use the Hemlock, go ahead and continue to use the Hemlock. If you're looking to use something a little bit different, switch it up every once in a while, go ahead and use the Cronen Squall. Like I said, it's tough to use, but I don't want to even say it's a skill gap. It's just there's a little bit of recoil with it that you're going to have to get used to. Now, we have no plates, so that's the biggest issue that we're facing right now. 4 teams alive. We still got, what, 15 other people. We're chasing 1 kill in this third circle to try to get to our 20 bomb pace, but still just can't quite get there. Notice that I'm high alerted, right? So if this is where high alert, guys, is, in my opinion, a must when it comes to perks. Right here, like, I probably die to that guy if I don't have high alert because I over-peaked that, and I don't know that he's actually looking at me. Same thing right here. I'm not going to over-chow that, guys. I just need plates. I just need plates in the worst way. Of course, we got streamer loot, streamer loot, streamer loot. There's the armor box right there. So sure enough, we're rocking and rolling again. So we're just going to go ahead, play up top here in a second. We're going to work our way back up the stairwell. I hear a bunch of people, but first things first, of course, I've got to throw this armor box down, get reset a little bit. But we're going to push up. Now, I could absolutely disengage this here. I could absolutely disengage this. Can I please pick up all the plates? I could 100% disengage this at this moment, go push ahead and start to play a little bit of positioning, right? Play positioning based on circle, put myself in that good spot to be able to clutch the win and clutch the 20 bomb because there's, there's what, 12 people left? I only need 5. Now, right here, we're going to be able to get that knock. Don't oversell for the thirst yet. Don't oversell for the thirst, but we are going to re-engage here in a second. We got the Vel. We're going to go challenge. We're mortaring on the roof to force them down, right? That's why I mortar the rooftop right there. Downed, thirsted, downed, thirsted. Another one, hipfire Vel, downed, thirsted. One more. Don't know where he is because we don't get the minimap pings, but I know there's at least another guy here, and I hear him pushing the stairs. As we go ahead, we quick reload. We're going to challenge right here. Catch him right there. Really good play. And we end up dying. I just want to highlight his play here. I kept the kill cam in for you guys. First of all, it is what it is, guys. Games end this way. I learned my lesson, overchowed. Here's the lesson to be learned, though. Watch how he plays this. This is the last thing that I'll leave you with here. Watch how he plays this. Watch how he never stops shooting. That is what allows him to win this gunfight. We're even right at this point right here, but he just keeps shooting. I can never get another bullet off. So use that to your advantage when you're in a tough spot like he was. It is what it is, guys. We were on a good pace. We still would have easily, if I get that kill, we're at 19, then we focus on clutching the win, so we'd be down to 12 people. We'd beat them all 3. My teammates died. We'd be down to 9 people. We'd be looking probably at a 25 kill game. Fortunately, this guy made a good play. It is what it is, but I hope you found today's video helpful. Like I said, keep an eye out for tomorrow's secondaries video for Season 3 on Ashika Island. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.